We'll be right back. Has seemed to be contagious and gone over to the win. Mindy Smith coming out for the hot dice along with Laura Heiser. Mindy Smith, quick speed of the Nevada hot dice. That's what they turn to, hoping to generate some points. Laura Heiser, I think in all honesty, out of Cummings, Georgia, 5'10", 132, a little more physical, but right there, Mindy Smith uses that speed to gain the advantage. Now she's going to try and break that goose egg. That's Renee Blevins back to try and block out. Kim Hart drops back to try and help her teammate. And a great elbow from Kim Hart allows Smith to go around, picking up the first point of the game for the Nevada Hot Dice. Again, Renee Blevins trying to deal with her. And now a great elbow again from Kim Hart. A second point going now. Osborne goes by one other jammer. A big three-point jam for the Nevada Hot Dice. And very quickly, they are on the board. Mindy Smith with 3 points.
Well, sometimes we talk about all the antics that little Richard Brown pulls off the track. We forget that he's been around for about 1,000 years, I think. Don't tell him I said that. But apparently at this last break here, he took these guys aside, said you got to play physical against these wrestlers who seem to be wanting to play physical. They've done that. It showed right there on that jam.
Buddy Macon, though, tell Richard Brown Hawk called him 1,000 years. No. Laura Weintraub out now with Talisa Miller. Again, Weintraub hampered a little bit by that hamstring. You see it taped up. Talisa Miller has stepped up her game, really become the emotional leader, I would suggest, of these Nevada Hot Dice women. She certainly almost single-handedly led the women to that stunning upset of the New York Enforcers. And there you see the reason. She's got speed and really has stepped up her physical play. Drops down Laura Weintraub, and now Miller comes around all by herself, closing in. Katie Cooper, Miller goes right around her. A little razzle-dazzle, and now trying to get down. 2 points she left off, and now she goes by Mindy Smith. Again, a tremendous jam by Talisa Miller, picking up 3 points so far. Now she falls back. Time expires. But Miller very quickly puts the wrestlers back out in front.
Well, and Ken, these guys are really going after each other. I think this game might play out to be an endurance game. You see Talisa Miller lower in the boom, but it takes a lot out of these people when these guys are playing powerful like they are, and it's going to be to see who can stay physically with their game and stay and keep scoring points down as we get further on in the second half, Ken.
And I've been advised by our statistician, Bullet Bob Cole, that's Miller's 4th point of the game, as I said, picking up right where she left off. Now, Mindy Smith breaks out, but we'll run out of time in the period. It's going to end 5-3 Texas. Let's go to Roller Rolls and our lead referee, Sean Corbin.
I'm Sean Corbin, but you probably know me as that blind idiot. If you think my job is so easy, you try calling this jam. Sam and Micah Martin go out on the jam together, but Sam goes over the rails. He's still off the track when Micah comes back around. Finally, the jam ends when Mark Webber lays this hit into Bill Barker and Micah Martin falls off the jam. So how many points would you give the Hot Dice? If you said 2, you'd be wrong. Micah gets 1 point for passing Sam and another for passing Barker. But while Sam was off the track, Nevada's second jammer passed him 2. That means there should be 3 points. I bet you didn't see the second jammer. Think of that the next time you call me blind.
We'll be back with more Founders Cup wildcard action right after this. It's the Texas Rustlers 5, the Nevada Hot Dice 3. Welcome back, everyone, to RollerJam Arena at the end of 1. And we talked about the matchup between Shea Brown and Talisa Miller. In all honesty, Talisa Miller has gotten completely the best of Shea Brown. Miller scoring 4 of her team's 5 points. And the Nevada Hot Dice, mentally, they are anywhere but here at RollerJam Arena.
Well, absolutely, Ken. And Shea Brown actually did a great job here in the first period, but a mental error by the Nevada Hot Dice cost her some points. Little Richard Brown has sworn he wants to get right back at Mark D'Amato, but he has to look at the Rustlers here today. And, of course, if they win, they go on to play the Quakes in the conference championship. But on a play here in the first period, and I'm going to have Buddy Atkinson armed with his telestrator to help me here. Shea Brown does a great job. She gets out. We see her skating well. We see her physically dominating some of the Rustlers. Her head seems to be in the game. You see her moving well. You see her knocking around players. There's Renee Blevin. She beats on a little bit. But the problem is all for naught, Ken, because right here there are 6 hot dice on the track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play goes away. As we all know, you can only have 5 people on the track. They had 6. These Nevada hot dice have to start thinking about playing and not about getting ahead for this unholy alliance that seemed to have destructed between Mark D'Amato and little Richard Brown.
No question in the Founders Cup, there is no tomorrow for the losing teams. Now Broadway, Danny Wolf is standing by with the game's leading scorer.
Okay, Talisa, a very active first period for you. You were in on every jam. Basically, your team has the lead because of you. But it's a wild card. It's all or nothing.
That's right. I'm going to 110%. We're going to be there for the Founders Cup. We're the underdogs. We're going to come and get this game.
Good luck in this game, Talisa.
Thank you.
And starting for the Texas Rustlers, a surprise, a newcomer, Brian Krebs, will be jamming along with Sigmund Williams, blocking Bill Daly, Brian Gallagher, and Bill Roquevert. For the Nevada Hot Dice, the jammers, Micah Martin and Christian Salvia, blocking Randy Garrett, Mark Weber, and Richard Brown. The 3 physical men for the Hot Dice are up front and blocking. There you see the start from the starting line. You see just how very quick Sigmund Williams is, jumping to the early lead. Almost looked like he may have beat the whistle, but he let it go. Just came out of there like he was shot from a cannon. And you saw Micah Martin almost stumble, taking the big whip from Mark Weber, but regained his skates. And now you see how very quickly Sigmund Williams has closed on the pack. Micah Martin still about a quarter of a lap back. And down goes one of the Nevada Hot Dice. I didn't pick up the number as Sigmund Williams just winds his way through. A second one, a third one, very quickly. Sigmund Williams, 3 points and cuts off the jam. Heads up from the speedster.
Well, our women's period turned out to be a punching match. If this first jam is any indication what we can expect from the men, it looks like it's going to be a track meet, Ken. And speaking of track meet, Sigmund Williams showcasing some of that blinding speed. Good job.
No question, Williams 6'1", 165 pounds as the pack race forms, and now finally again, remember, once the opening period, you got to have all the blockers in front, the jammers in the rear. They must weave their way through the pack. Now, Buddy, what does this mean for the Texas Rustlers? Their confidence has got to be just through the roof.
I'll tell you what, they're so high and they're flying. And I'll tell you something else. Watch for this rough play.
And there you see rough play indeed from Brian Krebs as he sends down P.J. Rossi. Krebs, a newcomer, has really injected some enthusiasm in the men's lineup for the Texas Rustlers, but he runs into the wily veteran Richard Brown. Hawk, you remember Richard Brown? You said he was 1,000 years old early. Looks pretty good for him.
That wasn't me.
And right now, Brown doing a good job of blocking out Krebs, preventing him from picking up any points whatsoever. You've got to give credit. Brown calling on all his experience. He wants this game so bad he can taste it. Look at Mark Weber.